I'm a compulsive gambler, and it managed to ruin my life. I didn't want to die, but I didn't want to live at the same time, and it was a horrible place to be.
My name's Owen. Most of my family members are alcoholics. I probably got introduced to alcohol probably at the age of 4. I probably struggled half my life. Probably from the age of 14 when I first started using speed.
I came out of a blackout. I was on the street, a big gash on the back of my head and broken jaw. My last memory was being in a nightclub.
Addiction. A self-soothing stranglehold that has a tight grip on people everywhere, and it's ruining lives. Reports in Australia estimate that approximately 8% of Australians have had a drug addiction problem. This includes alcohol. Alcohol is the most widely used drug in Australia, with over 3,000 people dying annually due to its consumption. But there are many forms of addiction. Compulsive overeating, gambling, and sex are just some of the self-destructive behaviours that a lot of people do to excess, damaging not only themselves, but also those who surround them. It's people such as this who require the help of services like the Haymarket Foundation, a group that provides assistance for those who truly need it, changing lives through programs such as the Bourke Street Project.
It started dealing with people who were alcoholics, who needed some respite and some rehabilitation. Now the program caters for men over 18 who have been in rehab for at least 30 days and are sober when they come into the program.
I think about 3 years in, I realised there was something seriously wrong with what I was doing. Not everyone gambled every day like I did. Not everyone stopped going to uni. I was losing $1,000 a day almost, and you kind of figure you need help at the end of the day, but the next morning you don't really want it.
My life was never really manageable. I could never hold a job. I must have had about 200 different jobs in my 20s alone.
I started off smoking heroin. You know, the people I used to associate with, we used to rob banks, so we could afford the heroin all the time. You know, sticking a gun in someone's face, you know, not realising the effect. You know, I thought if I'm not pulling the trigger or I'm not hitting them or something, it's not hurting them. It was getting bad. A lot of people got hurt. I ended up going to jail at the age of 20. I seen a lot of bad stuff, and it really affected me. People dying inside, you know, committing suicide. Just watching officers stand around a cell where there's an inmate dead, you know, and laughing and joking, it made me think, you know, I'm just a number in here.
I decided to go gamble for 1 hour. I'd ended up spending 9 hours gambling. It was 4 o'clock in the morning. I'd won a large amount of money. I remember in the taxi just feeling horrible, felt sick in the stomach. I couldn't understand why I felt so unhappy about winning all this money. I thought this was what, you know, this was supposed to bring me happiness, and I remember sitting in that taxi crying like I've never cried before and wishing I was dead, and here I was. This is what my addiction wanted me, like, was telling me this was the ultimate, and I wanted to die.
They showed me the tools how to live again, you know, and the structure of it wasn't so controlling. You know, they gave you enough rope to hang yourself. The way the community works, I think, with all the other housemates is a good thing. You know, one addict helping another, that's what it's about. I really enjoyed it because it wasn't so controlling, you know, because I'd done so many years in jail. I think it was a perfect environment for me, you know, because I was that determined to quit drugs. All I needed to know was how to live again.
We have groups most mornings, and there's events that are centered around our community, but there is a lot of freedom to start living.
I couldn't do it alone. I know for a fact that if I left the Phoenix unit in Manly after 2 months rehab there and went back out there and tried to get a job again, it would have just been the same old stuff over and over, you know.
I just finished up playing A-grade football. You know, I'm 36 years old. You know, I got the opportunity to play for Blacktown PCYC, talking to troubled teens through there and giving back to the community. You know, I robbed the community for half my life, you know, so I think to deal with all the stuff that I've done, that's how I give back. So it's not all about me today. It's all about I live to give back.
You know, you learn to use the tools that are here. In 5 months, I can't even recognise myself. I want to be out there in the community. I want to help other people, and I'm learning a lot about myself at the same time, and it's an amazing place.
As a non-government organisation, we are always very short of money, and governments fund us to a minimal amount. So to be able to do the extra work that we want to do, we really need the support of corporates and individuals.
Everyone has to be on their own journey, you know what I mean? It might take 2, 3 times. You know, it took me how many times to try this, you know? Everyone needs a chance.
To find out more about the Bourke Street Project or to donate, please visit haymarket.org.au.